Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, he's back, Ian McNulty, food writer for the New Orleans Advocate. Hello.
Hi,
hello, good to see you again. Poppy Tucker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio. Hello, Miss Poppy.
Hi, Peg.
And talk about he's back, and we're so glad, musician and raconteur and coffee shop owner Phil Melancon, here to give us a taste of the show Hello Mutta, the wacky world of Alan Sherman. And later on, Phil, along with Judith Brown and Larry Beron, will actually perform a song for us. So we're so glad you're here.
Thanks.
Of course, and Alan, not Alan Sherman, but Alan Smason of Crescent City Jewish News and TheaterCriticism.com. But first up, Poppy.
Well, of course, it's Labor Day weekend, but you know, summer never ends here in New Orleans. And the restaurants are really getting into such a thing with this island hopping concept. And Nina Compton is going to start an island hop dinner series this week, starting Sunday at Compere La Pan, with her sister, Fiona Compton, who is a London-based St. Lucian Caribbean historian and visual artist. So this Sunday, the first stop is Cuba, and it's a deal. It's $45 for 4 courses with a $25 optional cocktail pairing. And the dishes for this week, Media Noche Empanada, forgive my Spanish, pork belly with platano and mojo verde, vaca frita with congri, and of course, flan de coco. I think that's chocolate. And the cocktails, concha, Cuba's oldest cocktail with Havana rum, añejo rum, fresh lime juice honey, and a Havana special, a cocktail that dates back to 1935. So this is going to be educational and delicious and fun. The next stops are going to be Haiti, Jamaica, St. Lucia, and Martinique. And then we're just going to continue on our little tour with a stop on Britannia. At Costera, we're going to the coast of Spain. This is where La Thai used to be. And there are real, authentic tapas, beautifully executed by Brian Burns, who was the former chef de cuisine at Peche, and another Donald Link veteran sommelier, Renaud de Renier. And the emphasis there is on Gulf seafood and local produce, just like Donald taught them. And the dishes, oh my goodness, the food's grand. Roasted cauliflower with pickled raisins and hazelnuts, beef shank and potato bomba with pickled peppers, the seared yellowfin tuna with marinated chanterelles and fennel, out of this world. Octopus, little neck clams with chorizo, crispy skinned pompano, you got me there, braised lamb shank, anything that you could want to eat virtually is on this menu. But the paella, a minimum of 2 for the paella, so bring a party. And then I love sweetbreads, and I've had some opinions about whose are best, and I gotta tell you what, currently reigning for sweetbreads, Costera, they're divine. Now, on to a completely different topic. Dickie Brennan is opening a new restaurant this weekend actually, Acorn, in the new Louisiana Children's Museum in City Park. I am so excited about this. Dickie credits his nephew, Jordy Brower, with masterminding this concept. And I got a personal tour about a week ago. Of course, there's going to be pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers and grilled cheese and mac and cheese, but sweet potato tots that are all made, house-made with nothing but sweet potatoes, roasted cauliflower, and crispy Brussels sprouts. They're going to have French truck coffee and breakfast choices so you can grab and go. There's going to be, breakfast pizzas and burritos. this incredible coffee program. They're going to open up at 7 a.m. How about avocado toast as a version of a toad in a hole? I just love that. And there's stroller parking. And the thing that blew my mind was the fog art installation by an 86-year-old Japanese fog artist. You've never seen anything like it. The fog goes off on the hour, every hour. It's about a 10-minute experience. It's incredible. And we can all go there every day. We don't have to have children. We don't have to go to the museum. It's there in the museum, but there's a separate entrance, and it's going to be grand. And then last of all, you know, the studio here is all abuzz with Downton Abbey, isn't it? And our friends at the Windsor Court Hotel are hosting a whole September celebration where a portion of the proceeds from all the tea sales in the hotel salon will be donated to WYES. Now, once the film opens, you take your ticket stub from the film, attend a tea, and you can enter to win a 2-night stay complete with in-room tea service. And then for real crawly files, is that what you call them? Looking for more of an immersive experience? Well, you can have a whole Downton-themed holiday down there with the Masterpiece Series package that includes a 2-night stay, breakfast in your room or in the grill room, a bottle of Ridgeview Bloomsbury Brut. Who knew they made champagne in England? Traditional English afternoon tea that you can either have downstairs or in your room, and an officially licensed Downton Abbey Highclere light-up ornament. It's a detailed castle ornament that lights up, and you reserve online using Masterpiece, or there's a number to call that's on the screen, and that'll be on our website.
All right, Poppy, thank you so much. And we turn to Ian because at the end of August every year, especially in New Orleans, we definitely have to remember, it's been hard to believe it's 14 years.
Yes, of course, you're not mentioning the K word. Let's put it on the table. Hurricane Katrina, that anniversary is upon us again. You know, and it brings up a lot of memories for people, including, let's frankly, some memories of food and dishes and restaurants and the people that they're with in that era before Hurricane Katrina. It can seem like a different world sometimes for those of us who've been through many years since. You look back in time like, wow, it feels like yesterday, or it feels like a different lifetime. But around town, we have a number of restaurants that have this unique power to bring you back a little bit to that past time, but also make you really happy for the here and now. These are restaurants that have been out of action for a long time thanks to Katrina and the flawed response, let's put it that way, but that recently made it back, and in somewhat different iterations, different generations, different locations, but they are channeling and bringing back a lot of the spirit and the flavors of some faces that people, a lot of your viewers will know and love from the pre-Katrina era. Let's start with Barrow's Catfish. This, of course, is the continuation of Barrow's Shady Inn, that place where if you missed it once, you would never forget how to get back there the second time. You could see it sailing past as you went up the Earhart Expressway. Barrow's Catfish is the continuation again of the great dish there, the fried catfish, speckled with a little bit of cayenne, just delicious flavor. This is in a different location. It's about a mile away on Earhart. We're in the same neighborhood.
Easy to get to.
Yeah, much easier to get to. The next generation of the family. Now this is the Barrow Johnsons that run the restaurant. It's a family restaurant, 2 generations at work there, and it continues a restaurant that's been around really since the 1940s. It's brought back that catfish, like I mentioned, but also now a much broader menu: gumbo, barbecue shrimp, a full New Orleans Creole menu. It's
right
fantastic.
Off Carrollton, we should say.
Yeah, right off Carrollton. Different setting, but another story that people will remember from the Katrina legacy, Gabrielle. This was a place that was on Esplanade Avenue near City Park for years and years. Greg and Mary Saunier's restaurant, celebrated place right there on Esplanade Ridge. Many efforts to bring it back, unsuccessful for a number of reasons, but finally, they brought back Gabrielle on Orleans Avenue. Different neighborhood, same people, same dishes. Again, multi-generation now. Their children who are probably running around, scampering in the dining room back in the day, now helping to run the place. A beautiful place with really just a great, unique read on regional flavors. Greg Saunier, of course, came through Frank Brightson's restaurant. Frank Brightson, of course, came through the great Paul Prudhomme's restaurant himself. There's ties there that go throughout this whole food story. regional, rich, relevant, just great New Orleans cooking in a new setting on Orleans Avenue. And of course, for reference points, right by Dookie Chase's restaurant. So easy to find and a good value too. It's fine dining,
Yes.
it's white tablecloths down, good cocktails, nice wine, but it meets you halfway,
A friend
which I
told me
like
they
about it.
just had the culinary meal there. It was incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
Really
Yeah,
good
what a
value.
great deal. It's still continuing this weekend. And then finally, Dunbar's Creole cuisine. You know, I used to say before the world had Red Bull energy drink, they had the sweet tea at Dunbar's Creole cuisine. How many Tulane and Loyola grads powered their way through college on that sweet tea alone? And the fried chicken, and the red beans, and the good values, and the gumbo. It was on Ferret Street forever, seemingly forever. It goes back to the 1980s. Actually, Celestine Dunbar, the proprietor here, has had a few locations for it. Best known for Ferret, of course, but after years and years, reopens again on Earhart Boulevard, not far from Barrow's, kind of a line of great Creole cooking right there. I can't say enough about the Creole gumbo that she makes. It is a different bite with each spoonful. You know, there's meat, there's crab, there's shrimp, there's that essence of it in there. It's so fulfilling. It's a gumbo that's back from limbo and can just make you feel so happy about New Orleans, about this place that we live in, even though we have to, of course, endure a lot of hardships. None harder than these three restaurants I mentioned that were out of action for so long, and I'm just so happy to have them all back.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Candace Parker gave us the names of a Lakeview street named after a World War I French general and a street named after a French forest that became a battleground. The answers, Marshall Foch and Argonne. Now, tonight's question. Traditionally, Labor Day is the end of the season for wearing these two styles of men's suits. What are they? Email your answers. There are hands up in our studio here. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes, a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a dish towel with the message "Love is Crawfish" from our friends at Wearable Vegetables, and a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to wyes.org/steppinout for our online calendar. You can also link to WYES's YouTube channel to see our program. And Phil, I'm so glad you're here. It was just really a few months ago that you did the tribute to Michel Legrand.
Yes.
I love you. Do whatever strikes your fancy, which is great. And this time it's Alan Sherman, and many of us remember him well. But set that up for us. Who is Alan Sherman?
Well, he was a writer and producer of game shows.
Oh,
And,
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wrote and produced I've Got a Secret. And
We're
a whole-
talking the 60s here.
Well, we're
50s and
talking early
60s,
60s
yeah.
and late 50s. And he always was writing these little parody songs for parties. And so he had a slew of them. And then he was discovered, when he moved to California, his neighbor was Harpo Marx. And he was performing them at the party, just having a few libations and enjoying himself. And George Burns heard him and called Warner Brothers and says, sign this guy up. And they made an album in 1962. And then he made 6 albums after that, I think. And they were just delightful. They're just this fun. And it's so much, for me, I know he's up in New York at the time in Los Angeles, but the humor is so much of New Orleans. It reminds me of my old friend Sam Adams.
Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned
It's very
him, too.
much like his.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, having fun with the words. And this is way before Saturday
absolutely.
Night Live. You know, it's around the time of, I guess, what, Von Meter, who was,
Oh, you're exactly right. That's
you know,
right.
Those
And they
kinds
both were hit
of comedy albums were a big deal,
Yeah, and then
weren't they?
1963, November. Boom, they both took a big hit.
Yes.
Tom Lehrer, too.
Tom Lehrer, thank
That's
you.
right, that's
Tom
right, you're
Lehrer,
right.
too,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, so this is this Sunday, and then next Sunday at the Monkey Hill
Right,
Bar.
correct,
What's
yeah.
that side street? I'm trying to remember on
Webster.
magazine. Webster.
Yeah.
And that it used to be a restaurant, and of course there's the bar, but right behind the bar is this really great performance space
Yeah,
that was
so it used
formerly
to
a
be
restaurant.
Chappie's,
Chappie's,
yes.
you know.
Right.
And it's so comfortable, and I was there at the Michel Legrand tribute too. But I'm so glad you're doing this, and I am very thrilled that you just decide to do these things too. Now, Phil, you've been around for a while. Okay, as I recall, you are a retired school teacher.
Yes.
Okay, and then you decided to kind of do what you wanted, and you were a fixture at the Bayou Bar,
Yeah.
at the Pontchartrain, and the Nutri-Ground, of course,
house.
the owners. Okay, and I hear that you also prepare, you cook some of the delicious little
Maybe it's a symbol.
refreshments.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
of
realize
course.
that was one of your many talents.
Well, it's just kind of fallen that way.
Yes,
you know.
and then one night I am watching, I guess it was, I don't know, watching some stuff on YouTube. No, or maybe it was Amazon. Anyway, all of a sudden, it's How People Talk in New York. And there's Phil Melancon and Chris Champagne talking about the New Orleans accent, the New York accent.
Right. A woman called down here and called a television station. I think it was Dominic Massa she spoke. She was making a documentary of the Brooklyn accent. And he said, well, we're busy. Call Phil. And so she goes, wow, that's just what I'm looking for. And
It's a cute little show. What's the name of it?
it's called If These Knishes Could Talk.
That's it. It's either Amazon or Netflix. It's one of them.
That's
But
what I
anyway,
remember.
so I am so thrilled, though, because actually Phil is going to perform with us. And now let's hear, though, Phil, Larry Beron, and Judith Brown with the Alan Sherman hit, Sarah Jackman. Hello,
Is this 518-9749?
speaking.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah Jackman, Sarah Jackman. How's by you? How's by you? How's by you the family? How's your sister Emily?
She's nice too.
She's nice too.
Jerry Bachman, so what's new? So what's new?
What you doing, Sarah?
Reading John O'Hara.
He's nice too.
He's nice too.
Sarah Jackman, Sarah Jackman. So what's new? So what's new? How's your brother Bernie?
He's a big attorney.
How's your sister Doris?
Still with William Morris.
How's your cousin Shirley?
She got married early.
How's her daughter Esther?
Skipped a whole semester.
How's your brother Bentley?
Feeling better mentally.
How's your cousin Ida?
She's a freedom rider.
What's with Uncle Sidney?
They took out a kidney.
How's your sister Norma?
She's a nonconformer.
How's your cousin Lena?
Moved to Pasadena.
What's with Uncle Nathan?
Him I got no faith in.
I ain't heard from Sonia.
I'll get her to phone ya.
How's her daughter Rita?
A regular Lolita.
How's your nephew Seymour?
Seymour joined the Peace Corps.
How's your brother Harry?
Transitioned into Mary.
He's nice too. She's nice too. Sarah Jackman, Sarah Jackman. How's
Jerry
by you?
Bachman,
How's
Jerry
by
Bachman,
you?
so
Give regards to
what's
High
new?
now.
So
Gotta say
what's
goodbye
new?
now.
Give regards to Mo now. So I gotta go now. Toodaloo, toodaloo,
Toodaloo.
And that's not easy.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm really impressed by Larry just keeping up with that litany.
That is pretty hard. Once again, you can see Hello Mata, the wacky world of Alan Sherman, and that's on Sunday, September the 1st is Sunday, and September the 8th at Monkey Hill Bar at 7 p.m. And now it is time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are highlighting the exhibit Building Blocks, Part 2, The Culture of Architecture in New Orleans, featuring the work of a group of artists, and this is Vieux Carré by Keith Oschlager. Look at that. Vieux Carré pizza, that is. Isn't that great? And this is Door on Dauphine by Andre Corville. He's also a very talented musician. This curated exhibit explores the balance between commanding municipal spaces and private back streets shrouded in their own intimate histories. All for purchase. Check out whereyat.net, or you can view the works in person at the whereyouart.net gallery, excuse me. But it's located at 1901 Royal Street. And now, Alan.
Well, I think one of the things about that Alan Sherman song that made it so famous was President Kennedy was heard Laborde singing it at one of the hotels in Washington.
Right, brother.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of events to go to, we don't really get a chance to talk about the World War II Museum as much as we should, and it's a really fabulous performing space. Well, the folks out there have trotted out one of their time-honored shows, which is the Victory Bells, doing songs that won the war. And this, of course, is all the favorites from World War II that you might remember, like The Last Time I Saw Paris, I'll Be Seeing You, The White Cliffs of Dover. And it's all going to star Hannah Rochelle, Skyland Roussel, and Jessica Gordon. Jessica's in the center, and of course, Hannah, you may remember, is all the way on the right, and Skyland there on the left. They're all tremendously talented, as all of the Victory Bells are, but this is wonderful three-part harmony, and I can't emphasize how wonderful the show is, just to bring you back in time, but also to let you enjoy really great singing. They are going to have not only brunches on Sunday, but also some other additional times to have dinners, etc. So Wednesdays is what it is right now, 12:45. Songs that won the war plays all the way and from now until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So you have plenty of time to make that. Also, congratulations as far as the theater goes to the #1 theater company in town. That's the NOLA Project. According to Gambit and their readers poll, they begin their 15th season coming up with a new, modern, updated version of Measure for Measure. That's going to be the Shakespeare work, of course, at the Great Hall in the New Orleans Museum of Art. And these shows invariably sell out, so I have to tell everybody, it'll be opening up on September the 10th, which is a Tuesday. There'll be ample opportunities to see the show. It will not be affected by the weather as readily as those shows are out in the Sculpture Garden. But keep that in mind that these shows do sell out. There's only a limited amount of space each night, so check it out. I believe members of the New Orleans Museum of Art and NOLA Project get a little break in the price, $25, and then for general admission it's $33, but well worth the price. You will love to see more of the NOLA Project. And around that same time, Southern Rep will be opening up their new season as well, and that's going to be starting with August Osage County. Now, those of you may remember, this was by Tracy Letts. It's all about a dysfunctional family. This was a 2008 Pulitzer Prize winner for drama, and of course, it was turned into a film back in 2013, which starred Julia Roberts and also Meryl Streep. Just a warning. Now, when it played on Broadway, August Osage County played about 3 hours and 20 minutes, and it had 2 intermissions. It is a long play, and it sort of bucks some of the more recent trends in having shorter plays without any intermissions. In this way, it's really not unlike last year's winner for Best Play, The Ferryman, which ran 3 hours and 15 minutes. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be going, you should go to the bathroom early. Meanwhile, over at Le Petit Theater, they're opening up something for young performers. Something very important is that they really need to be trained in the arts of theater and in terms of movement, etc. They're going to have the conservatory program at Le Petit. This will be a program that runs Tuesdays and Thursdays from, I believe, 5 o'clock in the evening till 7 o'clock. So it'll be after school. It'll allow the students to learn their craft. And again, it's $325 a student. If somebody's really serious and you have a student who you feel either your child or somebody should know about it, please let them know. This is something that is going to be very important for them to really get really on stage training and also hands-on with some really incredible people who are really familiar with the art of theater. And also, I just don't want everybody to let the season coming up for Broadway in America pass them by. We've been talking a lot about some of the wonderful shows that are coming up, but they just put tickets on sale this last week for Dear Evan Hansen. This was the 2017 winner for Best Musical of the Year, Tony Award winner. Music and lyrics by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, and a book by Stephen Levinson. It'll be here early November, quicker than you imagine. Tickets went on sale, as I said, last Friday, but try to get your tickets now. It's a very special show. The music has just a wonderful resonance. It talks about growing up, teenage angst, etc., a lot of issues that it deals with, but also it tells the story of how one little lie can become really much bigger and roll into more and more lies as it goes along, and really a fascinating story, and I think everybody will love it. And the music, again, is just to be loved
Thank
and
you
cherished.
very much. And now time for our picks. Ian.
Well, it's Labor Day weekend, so if you're hitting the road east or west, there's a Middendorf's along the route. Middendorf's.
That's right. That's on both sides.
Long time out there in Manchac. Now, second place in Slidell. Humongous. But if you like the food in Manchac, similar situation out there in Slidell.
We're happy for them.
Yeah, really nice looking place.
Yes. Poppy.
Well, of course, it's the big Southern Decadence weekend, so that means, of course, I'm fresh from my book launch at Brennan's, and tomorrow I'll be at the HNOC from 11 till 1. But my pick of the week is Poppy's Pop-Up Drag Brunch, the next one we're having at the Parlor at the Pontchartrain next Sunday, Sunday, September 8th.
Okay, thank you. Phil, so Neutral Ground, for those who aren't familiar, quickly.
Oh, yeah, the Neutral Ground, it's right across
near
from Newman School, right
Newman
there
School.
on behind Gautro's at 5110 Daniil Street.
Always a lot of performances,
Oh, we got
budding
over
artists.
over 100 a month over there.
Sheesh. So,
More than anybody other of a club.
Do you have
in
a
the country.
Facebook or a website?
We do. We have a website.
Okay,
yes,
and what that is?
Facebook.
What is that? What is
well, it's
that?
neutralground.org.
Okay, all right, great. Thank
And
you.
yeah, if I may promote one of them though, Tuesday at 9 o'clock, the king of old-time country music, Pat Flory.
Oh, yes,
playing.
yeah, of course.
So he'd be
Guitarist,
great to hear.
singer. Okay,
Wonderful.
good, Alan.
I want to let everybody know about Goat in the Road's upcoming production, which is called Role Play. It's based on the 2018 Tulane Climate Survey, which talks about themes of love, of power, and sex, and also consent. In my day, it wasn't Me Too, it was Not You. So, September 5th through the 15th.
And now
We all had our
Let me
puberty.
think on that. Okay. And now time for my picks. The Louisiana Children's Museum, as Poppy said, it's having its grand opening of the new location in City Park. It's right behind the New Orleans Museum of Art, off to the right, okay, if you will, by the newer sculpture garden right behind there. Anyway, the new location features 5 new galleries, the restaurant that Poppy mentioned, and an expansive outdoor campus. Admission is free on opening day, but timed entry is required. Go to lcm.org/tickets to book a time. Don't forget, WYES is having a barbecue tomorrow, Saturday, August 31st. Boots, beer, and barbecue, including a sneak preview screening of an episode from the new Ken Beron series, Country Music. The event will also feature live music from the group Wayward Jones. Tickets are just $35 a person. Go to wyes.org/events for more information. Then, on Friday, September the 6th, another WYES fundraiser. And as Poppy was mentioning, the Windsor Court, a Downton Abbey movie countdown party at the Windsor Court, with proceeds going to our station, and there will be cocktails, champagne, tea, and refreshments. It includes a ticket for a screening of the new Downton Abbey film on September 17th at the Elmwood Palace. Once again, go to wyes.org/events for tickets. Thank you all so very much for being with us here, and thank you, and good night.
This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area. Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich.